Below is an extended, feature-length version, roughly 7,000 words, of the story. A little girl screamed, "Daddy, that's my brother." The millionaire froze and collapsed in tears. The plot remains the same, but every beat now breathes longer, digs deeper into feeling, and lingers where the heartache and hope live. Plain paragraphs only, no headings, no chapter breaks, so your voiceover flows smoothly for a 40-minute YouTube video. Benjamin Cole Harrington adjusted the silver cuff links on his crisp tuxedo as if the tightness in his sleeves could distract him from the tightness in his chest. The Harrington Foundation's Winter Wishes Gala glittered around him, chandeliers flung constellations of light across 20-foot ceilings, and a live string quartet coaxed Vivaldi out of polished maple instruments. To every guest, Benjamin appeared perfectly composed, the embodiment of poise and power. Yet beneath the immaculate bow tie sat a heart still fumbling through twilight. 2 years had passed since leukemia stole his wife Evelyn, yet here he was, smiling on cue, shaking hands, and reaching politely for hors d'oeuvres he never tasted. People called him reserved. He knew the truer word was numb. 8-year-old Lily Harrington tugged at his hand, her pink taffeta dress rustling like restless petals. Lily owned a laugh that once filled hallways, but grief had taught her to ration it. Tonight she had spoken barely 10 sentences, each one politely rehearsed. She had tried so hard to fit her mother's gentle grace into her small shoulders that even her corners felt rounded. Across the marble lobby, a group of foster children stood in a loose cluster, invited to accept winter coats purchased by anonymous donors. Some eyed the golden staircase spiraling skyward as if it were Rapunzel's tower, others pinched canapés with shy delight. One boy, slight of frame, blue sneakers frayed to white threads, wandered toward the silent auction table. A model aircraft gleamed beneath glass, its wingtips painted the same sea green shade Evelyn once chose for the nursery wall of a baby who never came home. Benjamin's gaze flickered there only a moment. The plane triggered memories too sharp to hold, the unsolved kidnapping of his infant son 14 years earlier, Evelyn's desperate search, the hush money offered by lawyers who craved discretion, the way Evelyn's eyes lost color long before her blood did. He hunted his daughter's face instead, hoping to anchor himself. But Lily had gone stock still. Her fingers slid from his grasp, arms suddenly rigid, eyes round as blown glass. She inhaled, then released a cry that fractured the gala's soft applause. "Daddy, that's my brother." The crash of silence that followed felt almost physical, like a gust that flattened every conversation mid-sentence. 100 heads turned. Bow tie knots loosened. Crystal glasses trembled in servers' hands. And at the center of the widening hush stood Lily, sprinting now across polished stone, pigtails streaming. She slammed into the startled boy, hugging him with a ferocity miracles often carry. Benjamin's elegant composure blew apart. His knees buckled, the world tilted, marble rushed up to meet him. For the first time in 2 decades, tears spilled down his cheeks untouched by the comfort of a handkerchief or the rules of etiquette. His breath hitched, thin, as memory and astonishment collided like cymbals behind his ribs. He tasted salt and marble dust and could not tell which belonged to the present moment. Security officers moved forward. Event planners whispered about optics. But Lily's sob-drenched voice rang through vaulted space, raw and unwavering. "It's him, Daddy, it's Noah." Benjamin crawled to his feet, ignoring the shooting pain in his knee, the same knee he had injured sliding across the maternity ward floor the night his newborn vanished. He closed the distance and stopped, half afraid the boy would evaporate if he blinked. Up close, details screamed recognition, the comma-shaped freckle beneath the chin, the gentle tilt of the right ear Evelyn always joked she had, crooked with love. The boy's hazel eyes, stormy ringed with green, were Benjamin's own. The boy, wide-eyed, whispered a single word, "Dad." It was not a declaration, only a question shaped by hope so fragile it scared them both. Benjamin's lungs refused air. Instead, he reached out, palm trembling, and rested it against the boy's cheek. Warmth met warmth. A current of belonging raced up his arm, igniting nerves that had slept for years. The boy did not flinch. Lily's arms tightened around them both, as if she alone could stitch their separated lives back into one garment. Hotel security ushered them into a velvet-draped lounge away from phones snapping photographs and whispers blooming like weeds through marble halls. In that refuge, Benjamin learned the boy's name, Noah Elliott Sutter, according to the foster care file Ms. Ramirez carried beneath her elbow. Noah, now 14, had cycled through 6 homes in 8 years. He hated thunder. He loved sketching faces he could not name. He hummed lullabies when he thought no one listened. Benjamin asked about the lullaby. Noah hummed 3 measures of a melody. Benjamin's pulse stuttered. It was the lullaby Evelyn composed the night before their son's birth, recorded on an antique cassette, sung once more at the baptism they never got to celebrate. He collapsed again, but this time into a chair, his soul suddenly heavier and lighter all at once. Ms. Ramirez, a stern yet kind-eyed social worker, spoke soberly. DNA testing was required. Even if the test confirmed paternity, family court would decide placement. Policies guarded against coercive reunions. Benjamin nodded, but lightning cracked behind his gaze. Coercion. He would coax the sun from the sky if it meant safety for this boy. Still, he vowed to move softly. Trauma did not heal under pressure, it flowered in light, water, patience. He offered a compromise: the Ritz-Carlton's 12th floor, 3 adjoining suites, staffed only by Ms. Ramirez and vetted foster care chaperones. Noah could decide whether to accept the arrangement. Ms. Ramirez turned to Noah, who studied Benjamin's cufflinks, perhaps seeing himself polished there. The boy's voice emerged, paper-thin. "Can Lily come, too?" Lily, beaming through tear-slicked cheeks, answered by threading their fingers. Decision made. Over the next 3 weeks, life rearranged itself like furniture after a storm. Each dawn began with breakfast in the hotel's sun-washed conservatory, fluffy omelets for Lily, stacks of syrup-glazed waffles for Noah, black coffee for Benjamin that tasted less bitter than he remembered. Day 1's conversation stuck to safe islands, favorite dinosaur, Triceratops. Scariest movie Noah had almost watched, the first 5 minutes of Jaws, and Lily's secret recipe for calming nightmares, drawings taped over alarm clock numbers so monsters couldn't tell time. By day 4, Noah shared a scar on his shin earned playing street soccer in a group home parking lot, and Lily revealed how silence in the mansion sometimes roared louder than thunder. Benjamin listened more than he spoke. He learned the rhythm of Noah's sentences, the way they darted left when questions felt threatening, the way they circled back when curiosity nudged him forward. He noticed Lily brighten whenever Noah laughed, as if her battery charged with every new decibel of his joy. He kept his own revelations minimal. Noah needed nourishing, not drowning. Yet one night, after Lily fell asleep, Noah tiptoed into the adjoining suite where Benjamin sat reviewing foundation budgets. What was she like? Noah whispered, eyes on the ceiling as if afraid of direct impact. Benjamin knew the pronoun, it always meant Evelyn. He closed the laptop. Words poured, Evelyn's laugh like wind chimes, her habit of dancing while cooking, her dream of building a library where every shelf ended with a window seat big enough to nap in. Noah listened until tears glazed his lashes, then he asked if lullabies could live in your DNA. Benjamin answered by humming the melody Evelyn wrote. Noah joined softly on the third line. Genetics gave them the same pitch. On day 11, the DNA results arrived in a sealed envelope hand-delivered by a lab courier. Benjamin insisted Ms. Ramirez open it. She slid out the report, eyes glancing quickly over numbers. 99.9. She exhaled as though she'd been holding her breath all month. Noah looked first at Lily, then at Benjamin, then at the ceiling again, as though afraid to break something invisible. Benjamin knelt, Lily crushed them into a tangle of arms. The courier, blinking back tears of her own, excused herself with whispered congratulations. News leaked within hours. A cousin, Malcolm Harrington, who held a minor stake in Harrington Industries, filed an injunction claiming fiduciary risk. Business media buzzed. Talk shows speculated about stolen inheritances, though Benjamin privately felt the only thing stolen was 14 years of bedtime stories. Investors fretted, the company's stock dipped 5% in 2 days. Paparazzi camped outside the Ritz, camera flashes turned the lobby into a lightning field. Lily pressed herself behind Benjamin whenever shutters clacked. Noah flinched, remembering thunder. Benjamin's protective instinct, once dulled by grief, blazed awake. He bought them all noise-canceling headphones, marched them through the throng with heads held high, and answered 0 questions. But Ms. Ramirez warned, family court could interpret media attention as destabilizing. Benjamin contemplated strong-arm tactics. His attorneys excelled at them, but Lily's visible anxiety pulled him back. He needed transparency, not intimidation. So he turned to Camille Garner, an investigative journalist once despised for printing rumors about Evelyn's depression after the kidnapping. Benjamin invited her to coffee at a public cafe, no press secretary, no prepared statement. She arrived suspicious but left shaken by his naked remorse and hope. He apologized for threats his legal team once issued, then asked her to write the story of Noah's journey exactly as it was, messy, improbable, unfinished. She agreed, demanding complete access for 1 week. During that week, Camille shadowed family breakfasts, skating lessons, therapy sessions where Noah practiced grounding exercises, and nightly Skype calls with Dr. Maddox, a trauma specialist Lily met through grief camp. Camille captured the heartbreak of Noah tracing Evelyn's portrait on hotel stationery, the quiet strength of Lily teaching Noah to fold origami cranes so wishes could fly, and Benjamin laughing, when syrup dripped off Noah's waffle and splashed onto $1 million watch. Camille published, Finding Noah, A Family Reborn. Her words cut through the noise like lighthouse beams. Public sentiment pivoted. Social media timelines overflowed with hashtag Bring Noah Home. Investors realized compassion sells better than scandal, stock rebounded. Court day arrived like a drum roll. The courtroom buzzed with press row whispers and the leather-bound silence of family law attorneys. The judge, Honorable Marisol Chen, was renowned for dissecting cases to marrow. She opened by outlining facts, confirmed paternity, absence of criminal charges against Benjamin, contested claims by Malcolm regarding mental fitness given grief history. Malcolm's camp produced photographs of Benjamin drinking alone 6 months after Evelyn's funeral, hoping to hint at alcohol dependency. Benjamin's attorney countered with therapy records showing sobriety. Noah testified voluntarily, voice shaking but steady, about nights shivering on thin mattresses, how Ms. Ramirez never stopped looking for a better placement, and how Benjamin listened more than any grown-up I've ever met. Lily spoke too, cheeks flushed, he's my brother even before the paper said so. Mommy sent him back to us. Tears pricked at corners of even the bailiff's eyes. When Judge Chen asked whether anyone opposed reunification based on the child's best interest, Malcolm's lawyer raised an objection about potential inheritance manipulation. But Noah cut in, polite yet firm, if money is the problem, Your Honor, I don't want any. I just want to know where my family is when it's thunderstorming. The courtroom, including Judge Chen, froze. Malcolm lowered his head, hands twisting a silk handkerchief. The objection dissolved into air thick with the scent of humility. Judge Chen's decision landed like sunlight after rain. Custody granted in full to Benjamin Cole Harrington, effective immediately. Furthermore, I am ordering an expedited name change hearing so Noah may claim the surname Harrington, should he choose. Gasps, applause, suppressed sobs, Benjamin heard them all as though underwater. He scooped both children into his arms. Their collective laughter reverberated against oak benches. Moving day unfolded like a fairy tale rewritten by pragmatists. Lily insisted they drive, not fly, the 50 miles to the estate so Noah could see how the city turns into trees. They piled into Benjamin's rarely used SUV, a luxury tank disguised as family transport, and sang out-of-tune pop songs while Ms. Ramirez followed behind to observe the transition period. The mansion gate swung open onto a gravel drive lined with birch trees whose white bark flaked like old love letters. Inside, the foyer echoed with possibility. Noah's footsteps sounded timid until Lily grabbed his hand and raced him across the grand staircase, announcing hide-and-seek rules. Benjamin stood in the center, breath catching on ghosts of Evelyn greeting them from the landing. He whispered, "Welcome home," to whoever in the universe listened. Routine rooted itself slowly. Mornings began with mismatched pancakes, Benjamin's attempts rarely round, and schoolwork at the long oak table where board meeting agendas once lay. Afternoons featured equine therapy requested by Dr. Maddox. Noah learned to brush a dappled mare named Whisper, discovering that horses listen to silence better than people do. Lily joined piano lessons in the sunroom, resurrecting her mother's favorite Chopin nocturnes. Evenings ended in the library, where Benjamin read aloud. It felt awkward at first. His voice cracked on softer syllables, unused to storytelling. But Noah and Lily leaned in, toes brushing each other on the Persian rug, and soon their soft breathing set pace to the narrative's march. Not every day glittered. One stormy night, thunder shattered sky like shrouds.